Welcome to the WASCOP tutorial on completing the forms for the Alcohol Factors Project. This project is currently being funded via grants obtained from the Wyoming Department of Health and the Wyoming Department of Transportation's Highway Safety Office. The project has been designed to collect substance abuse data from throughout the state of Wyoming. The data is specifically related to anyone arrested and booked into a detention center. This does include the VOA Detox Center in Riverton. Based on the data collected, Johnson and Associates, the team managing the project, will release 3 annual reports. These 3 reports are as follows: the main report, the supplemental report, and the executive summary. The information found in the reports helps to identify trends in the local communities. There are 2 main objectives for this tutorial. First is that those taking this tutorial will improve their knowledge by at least 75% on how to correctly collect the necessary data on the Alcohol Factors and Custodial Arrests form for their specific county. This is an example of the form for Albany County. The second objective is that those who are completing the tutorial will be able to describe the data collection process with 90% accuracy. The flowchart below briefly describes the process that we will look at in depth later. The bar graph on the screen shows the number of crashes in 7 districts throughout Wyoming. In addition, the graph shows the number of crashes that involves either alcohol or drugs. These totals include offenses by minors. It is important to track this crash data to be able to determine the underlying factors, if any, of the crashes. The current chart displays the number of DUIs reported in 2016 with the alcohol factors and custodial arrests for 7 departments throughout Wyoming. As with the previous chart, of the least. The current chart displays the number of DUIs reported in 2016 with the alcohol factors and custodial arrests form for 7 departments throughout Wyoming. As with the previous chart, Albany County has the highest recorded offenses, whereas the Game and Fishing Department, as well as the Wyoming Highway Patrol, have the least. Out of the number of arrests due to DUIs, the current chart shows the percentages due to the involvement of meth. Since Albany County had the highest amount of DUI arrests at 971, they continue to have the largest percentages of offenses. Overall, marijuana played a factor in 396 DUI arrests. This amount has increased by 2.7% from 2015. Out of a total of 1,942 DUI arrests for the departments displayed on the chart, drugs were involved for 564 of the offenses. This is slightly more than a 3% increase from 2015. Before the new year begins, all county detention centers and the Riverton VOA Detox Facility will receive enough evaluation of alcohol factors and custodial arrests forms for their county to last the entire year. In addition, they will receive a self-addressed and stamped manila envelope to mail in the completed forms each week. The form, shown on the left, will be filled out for everyone that is arrested and booked in a detention center or the VOA Detox Facility. However, this form will not be completed for those individuals that are booked for binge warrants, failure to appear or pay, or court-ordered jail time. The detention administrator, supervisor, or officer assigned is to ensure that the forms are being completed using the most up-to-date version. Every Monday, the assigned individual will collect the reporting forms and use the manila envelope provided and mail the forms back to the project management team. At month's end, the individual assigned counts the number of individuals booked into the facility, again, not counting those with bench warrants, failure to appear or pay, or court-ordered jail time. The numbers tabulated will be entered on the monthly tally sheet, which will then be faxed or emailed to Lori Emmert. The database manager from Johnson & Associates will enter all the weekly collective data that has been received into the master database. This database will be the main source for the yearly statistics and graphs found in the year-end reports. At year-end, the data collected will be analyzed by the project manager. The project manager will also be the individual that authors the yearly reports for WASCOP. In addition, the reports will be forwarded to all sheriffs, chiefs of police, the Wyoming Department of Health Management, the Prevention Coordinator, members of the Governor's Council on Impaired Driving, and community leaders throughout the state. Finally, WASCOP will hold a press conference to disclose the findings to the public. The online project management site has been created to provide streamlined access for administrators throughout the state. WASCOP, the project management website, allows administrators access to up-to-date information, current forms, and additions or changes with regards to the program. In addition, all current and previous reports can be accessed with Adobe Acrobat via WASCOP. The URL can be found on screen. The first part of the form can be found below. The arresting officer will need to enter either their name or CR number and the date. Next, the arresting department will need to be identified. Again, this form may vary slightly by county. The next two parts of the form specifically relates to the individual being arrested. The gender, resident status, offense, and type of crime needs to be identified. For this portion of the form, more information relating to the current arrest is being requested. First, if the individual is being charged with a DUI, is it their first offense? Did the DUI arrest stem from an accident? Next, were any types of drugs involved? Was alcohol involved? If so, what was the blood alcohol content and what method was used to determine it? The last portion of the form specifically relates to the consumption of alcohol. The first section asks the officer to specify where the individual's last drink occurred. Then, where was the alcohol obtained for that last drink? The following information on the screen provides the contact information for the project manager, Ernie Johnson, the database manager, Jan Lampert, and Lori Emmert, who cross-checks all monthly totals.